Hello. Today's review is Contagion VR, and do I recommend it? No, not really. Um, no. I'll give it this. It's lengthy, but more does not necessarily mean better. But we'll get there. So, one of my biggest problems is the artificial inflation, which is mostly what I'm referencing when I say more is not always better.
I just walked in the door. Where are you?
I must have just missed you.
So,
You'll have to tell me all about your trip over dinner.
the beginning bits are always a
I
little...
was on my way to go pick up some Chinese takeout.
One second.
I hope that's okay.
Now, I appreciate a bit of story as much as the next guy. Actually, as a matter of fact, I really appreciate story because then it actually kind of draws me and gives me something to kind of connect with the world, you know? Not to mention, too, it's just nice hearing or seeing or interacting along a nice little, neat little story. Oh my god. The other the thing is, though, is that, like, oftentimes they leave you sitting in a room talking to some asshole on the phone as a lot of the storytelling.
There's been an accident and...
An accident?
So, yeah. This one, I think, was Outbreak. And so far, I'm mostly just sitting on my ass, waiting for the wife to call with the next little frustrating tiny bit of story, and then I sit around some more, and I wait for the next little chunk of story until I get to finally, eventually take this here guitar and just bash something's head open. All of the stories really suffer from that big issue in that, like, say, even for example this one, where you had a black screen where they were driving, which I half get, but I mean, at the same time, I'm not a little bitch, give me the option. Not the point. So yeah, after these two have like a lengthy conversation, you eventually saunter on down there to get the story going and stuff. It starts out as a weird escape room thing and then gets to the whole zombies where you have to extract some people and then get the fuck on out.
God damn. Like fucking cockroaches.
Biotech has to be one of my least favorite ones in terms of artificial inflation, because one, it literally has two different lengthy intros. So intro number one, conversation you have with your boss while the vehicle auto drives its fucking self to a parking spot over there. And then you, from there, get out of the car and slowly wander your way on into the building and down to your office, security office area. Then once you've entered the building, you come on in, and there was a key card in your car that you had to boop, and then there's like 100 of them you have to fucking scan from beginning to end, so that you can wander up to different ones of these and just boop. And that's how this artificially inflates itself in this way. Because, like, if you don't have the right clearance, then you can't get through the doors, right? Like, say, for example, right here, right? You boop, nothing. Alright, so I have to go find that key card, and then this key card, and then that key card, and this key... And it would have been much easier if we could have just not had to do that, because there's like a constant bit of backtracking and whatnot. And, yeah, it was, this one just felt super long, and it didn't feel like a substantive long. It felt just artificially long, mostly because of those fucking key cards. But yeah, each of these is pretty long. So like Vacancy, where you had the brother, a very long conversation between the brother and the slow walk over to the gas station, and Outbreak, where you just have a horrendously long conversation with the wife over the phone before the story starts. Biotech, where you just have that ridiculously long drive in and then the short but still kind of lengthy walk into the office and then over to the... It's... they all take a little too long to get started. But, you know, that's the story aspect, you know, which, I mean, it's nice that there's a story, but like I said, shit that it takes so fucking long to get to the good parts. And by good parts, I mostly mean, like, they're all right. Like, the zombie fighting and the combat. I do want to make one complaint about this in very specific. The combat in all the other ones, you can like grab a melee and you can like beat a zombie to death and like still usually have the weapon. There is degradation, so they do eventually break no matter what the hell you grab. But like, you know, you can usually at least kill 2 or 3 of them, right? In this one specifically, even though you're a child, you literally, you strike them hard enough to break every single melee weapon in one swing, but not hard enough to kill the motherfucking zombie. I can't even begin to explain the frustration of that. I do appreciate the puzzles, even though most of them are like so stupidly put together. You do eventually figure it all out, but you know, it just takes a hot minute sometimes, which is a little annoying, but you know, whatever. There's also this one puzzle with a piano. I don't know how to read music. I have no idea how to fucking beat that fucking puzzle. That aside, it's not the worst piece of crap. In terms of gunplay, though, I do appreciate the subtle realism in that, like, say for example, I gotta chamber that round, right? Before I can... And if I ever just felt like, you know, just spending a few rounds just because... Because this game, frankly, does give an overabundance of ammo. Also, neat little thing is when it's like that, right? And then you reload, and it just... I do appreciate that, those like subtle realism bits. But then it immediately drops off in terms of realism in that when I try to aim straight forward, I feel like I'm like slightly breaking my wrist. Like I have to aim like a little this way to get it to aim that way. They could work on that, tweak it a little bit. Melee combat is a real frustration, but we'll get there in a second. Okay, so melee combat has a lot of the same complexity as, say, for example, Skyrim. Only you actually do impact, so there's that. You know, you're not just like waving it through their body, causing damage. You actually get to, like, that's right, lay the fuck down. And no matter what you're using, too, whether it's like the sharp part of the crowbar or the even the axe. Let me get rid of that piece of shit. Grab this. Even if you hit them with the bladed side of the axe, that doesn't count. He was pretty softened up. Let me hit another person. However, there's a certain amount of satisfaction to be had by bopping them on the head, knocking them over, grabbing out your pistol, and I give you mercy. It's my favorite little combo, is the I give you mercy. I give you mercy. mercy. Those big bastards, they don't really go down, so can't really give them any of that proper mercy combo. The two-handed weapons are both a good and a bad. So there's a bit of variety. The one that I like the most has a little scope here, a little hollow scope. Can't remember what it's actually called. Anyway, not the point. The cool thing is you can actually select a rate of fire. If you're gonna wield the two-handed weapon in one hand, I definitely recommend just the single shot, semi-automatic. However, if you just want to grab it with both hands so that you can stabilize, you can go full auto. Now, full auto does chew up some ammo though, so be careful about that. But yeah, it's a little clunky, a little shitty, the gunplay is alright. I like the realism in the small details, but a lot of them are two-handed weapons that you have to hold two-handed, and as you can see, oh sure, now it stabilizes, you little bastard. It's not always the easiest thing to use two-handed weapons with PlayStation Move controllers, because the light needs to be tracked, and if one of them blocks the other, the light can't really be tracked. But those many issues aside, one of the neater things, if you really care, it's an easy platinum trophy. Like, I literally got the platinum trophy while I was making this review. But yeah, all that bullshit aside, I hope this was helpful. I hope this helps influence you into not wasting your fucking money on this piece of shit. I hope you have a good one, and take care.